Hi there. So this is one of my favorites to help people get free from stopping themselves, to stop stopping themselves. And that is caring what other people are going to think of you if you make choice A, if you do this new thing. And I see a lot of erroneous conclusions that people have, like as if a prediction. If I choose this, then they're going to judge me as not as rational. So if I come out of the spiritual closet and I start talking about some of this stuff to those people, they're going to judge me. So I'm just going to stop myself and not go into learning more about this thing that really juices me, that I really want to learn about. But if I do, and then I start talking about it to those people that I love who feel like X about what I do, their judgments are going to be too much for me to handle. I don't want to deal, so let me just not go into this. Can you relate? Stopping yourself, and I can really say this from a position of authority because this is something that is just not in my wiring, thankfully, for whatever reasons. Stopping yourself based on what others are going to think is putting your life in the hands of someone else, is giving up your power, not even just leaking your power, but it's giving over your power to someone else. And it's giving your life's path, your destiny, your potential flattened out because you've handed it over to someone else and you've limited it by their fear. Now, it's always interesting to me because fear has a certain addictive component to it. Even the dark side, can have a sexiness to it. And I was just watching a movie last night, and it was awful. It was Mozart on a Brief Time in Prague. I forget the actual name of it, but I think it's in the title, Mozart in Prague, so you can look it up. And there was this one scene with this really abusive baron with bad reputation for just being really nasty to women and choking them, and them ending up with marks from having sex with him, this womanizer that he was. And he was having sex with this woman, and it made him really angry because she had fallen in love with Mozart, and she was betrothed to him. And so he thought that they had gotten together, which they had. And so his possessiveness and his desire to control his property, this woman, this is 1700s, late 1700s, he not only was choking her out of anger, but then he was having sex with her, and ultimately she died from it. So that's a really intense example, but it's how sometimes sex will cross the lines into the violent, and how some get turned on by it. There is this addictive lure to fearful thoughts, and I see in many people's consciousnesses who haven't done a lot of work is this giving over the power to the negative, as if the negative has power. When in reality, let's take money for an example. Money is neutral. And I spent years paying to be in a global community of leaders praying and clearing the projections humanity had on money, to have more than enough makes me greedy, or bad, or money's dirty, or I hate money, just cleaning money so it can flow more for the collective, when money is neutral and we project onto it. So energy is really neutral. It's our conception and then projection onto something that makes it negative or positive. So you could, I know this might sound really radical, I'm good at that. This could, or you could rather, excuse me, take somebody else's possible negative judgment of what you're going to do and recognize it for what it is, theirs. And you could have no part of dancing with it. And it could have no power over you. And then that would not have you leaking your power or giving your power over to somebody else. It instead would have you contain your power, and in fact, ask the person, I don't mean directly, but by you drawing your boundaries and choosing what you want to do anyway, regardless, it's not really a word, regardless of what they may or may not think about you, or the way that they think about the thing you're thinking about choosing that lights you up, but you might be stopping yourself from choosing it because they may judge you in a negative way. By you not taking that on and choosing what lights you up anyway, you're dumping in their lap the responsibility of dealing with their own judgments rather than you stopping yourself because of what somebody else might think. You've just neutralized a whole bunch of energy that other people spend lifetimes stopping themselves with. And really, it's just an excuse to not live up to more of your potential.